Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is currently late Monday night, December 2nd, and I wanted to film a video about the past month of sales I've had on eBay. Um, I have really been making a effort to be more consistent with my listings, and I'm trying to list at least 10 postcards or photos a day. Um, and it's just like, it's such a simple, low goal, um, but it really does help just being consistent, and I find that you just sell more. So I'm going to walk through. Um, I kind of hand selected these postcards. These are not all the postcards I sold. Most of them are like $10 and above. This one that we'll start with is I just sold this morning. It's not $10. It's in really bad condition, but it is just perfect for this season. So it's this little vintage Christmas tree, and it is just the card's in not good condition, but it's such a pretty Christmas tree. And then there's just this weird doll at the bottom there. I sold that for $8. Um, it was marked Chicago. I don't think it's going to Chicago. I think it probably sold for the tree. Um, this one I just accepted an offer on for $10. It's a railroad advertisement card. I've had this listed since April for 20. So I went ahead and accepted the $10 offer. This postcard is actually from a lot that I had just bought at an antique mall when I was back home for Thanksgiving break. I bought this photo and like hundreds of other photos for $45, and I sold this one for $45. It is of Jack Rabbit, Arizona. It is this little like trading post souvenir shop off the side of a highway on Route 66. I saw that a postcard of this sold for $30, and it was a chrome postcard, so it was much um, later than this. So this with the Texaco gas station, I listed this photo. It's circa 1953. I listed it for $50, and it sold basically within a day for that full price. And I've actually gone through and sorted the rest of the photos and found that I have a second copy of this. So I will probably be listing the second copy for a little bit more, just considering this one sold for much faster than I thought it was. This is a postal card that I've had listed since October, and I love postal cards. They're just so unassuming, and just honestly, a lot of them don't look super fancy. Like this one is a meat market advertisement, but I do really well with these postal cards, and they're really neat way of like, I love postal cards because they show a different version of history. Like, um, this is probably the only Nick Nelson's Meat Market thing out there. But it's just a neat, little advertisement card. This one sold for full price for 20. This is a greetings from postcard that I sold for $10. It's from Morrison, Tennessee. I always pick these types of greetings from postcards, especially if they are stamped on the back and have a date. So this one's from 1941, and it's just a cattle scene. But that sold also fairly quickly. Again, I just like selling these greetings. This is a pennant flag from Russellville, West Virginia, and it is from 1914. You got that nice cancellation on the back, and this one sold for $14.97. So these next two listings are what sold for $600. So back in the summer when I was home from school, I found, well, actually, my dad found this estate sale, and I bid on like 7 or 8 lots of like all these 35 millimeter slides, and they were all in their like cassette things that you'd put into a viewer to watch them, like the reels. And so I didn't really realize what I had gotten myself into, because then I won all these bids, and they were all of this was located in like the bottom corner of a basement. And it was like a really hot day. It was just not fun bringing all those reels up the stairs of the basement from this estate sale. And my original plan was to sell them individually, because these photos were just like so incredible. The person who took them was for sure had an artistic eye. This is the man who, this is a little boy, but he was the person who had, this was his estate sale. So these were photos from his childhood. He was a TWA flight attendant. Um, and there's just so many neat photos in here. And a lot of them are just, they're identified. So anyway, I within like a day of listing, I decided I'm not going to sell them individually. It was going to be way too much work for me, and I had no interest in it anymore, and it was just taking up so much space. So I took them all out of the reels, put them in lots, and someone offered me $300 for each lot. So I sold this lot and this lot for $300 each. So if you ever are on estatesales.net or have estate sales in your area and you find a huge lot of 35 millimeter slides, uh, at least look into it, because I think this was probably like 22, 23 pounds worth of it. And it's all a poundage game with selling these. It's when you're selling them in big lots like this. But that was a really nice sale. Moving back on to some postcards. This is a street view in Torrington, Connecticut that sold full price for $19.97. These two Iowa City Bank postal cards, I bought from a antique store that I just discovered, uh, that I bought them for, I think, 25 and 50 cents each. So a nice return for $10. Um, this is a really bad photo of a fire hydrant and a fire truck in Wilmington, Ohio. And it sold for $19.97. This is something from, I believe, the Mary Martin auction I bought like last year. And it is a hotel in Onset, Massachusetts, and has a little real photo on it, and it sold for $12.97. This is a real photo of Indian burials in St. Ignace. Ignace, I'm not going to say that right, but in Michigan from the 1940s, and it sold full price for $14.97. This is a really weird postcard. It's not even a postcard, it's just like an ad card, but I got this in the, I'm trying to think of what June postcard. It was either the Lenexa or no, it was the Lenexa. So I bought this at the Lenexa postcard show, probably for $1. And it's this ad card for Mondrake Magicians Club. Um, and I had it listed for 30, and I had this sale going on in my store, and it ended up selling for $23.98. This is I think when I listed this, there was a lot of them out there like it, but I listed it for $9.97, and it ended up selling. It's the Golden Rule department store in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's an interior view, and I did buy this one in the Eagan, Minnesota postcard show. Again, probably for $1. This is a greetings from Elmore, West Virginia. You really can barely make that out on here. And it even says Indiana Homestead, one at the West Virginia card, but this sold for $14.97, and I don't think it's been listed for too long. This is a postcard of an interior of a bar in Idlewild, Michigan. And this postcard I sourced from Mailseum. I had bought a lot from him back when he had a bunch of stuff that he was selling. And this one I listed for $19.97, and I think I had it listed overnight, and then someone sent me an offer for like $17. So I went ahead and accepted it. This postcard is of it's Donner Summit Airway, Lookout, California, from 1953, and it sold 20% off for $19.98. This is another Mary Martin postcard that sold for $9.97. It's of Point Independence in Massachusetts. Another postcard that sold on the 20% off deal going on. This one is, and I actually realized after when I had sold it that I misspelled it, so I felt dumb about that. But someone found it. Hamilton Street in McCune, Kansas. Really neat old scene from 1910. This was kind of a unique one from Warrenton, Virginia, and it's a hand illustrated. It was on super thick card stock too, from 1947. But it's this little dog hunting I think that's a possum. This one from the Eagan, Minnesota postcard show from a beach scene in Cook, Minnesota, sold for $15. This one is a linen card, which I really don't sell too many linens, but it's from Chesterfield, Indiana, and it's a camp scene. And this is kind of a bolo. Be on the lookout for these Camp Chesterfield in Indiana, because a lot of the cards were selling for pretty decent money, like $20, $30, $40. This one, I didn't see anything else out there like it. I listed it for $30 and it sold fairly quickly, full asking price. But yeah, so that is all of the postcards I sold. I probably will be doing a video about all these photos that I just bought, because they are just incredible. I mean, a lot of the photos that I haven't even began to list yet are like 8x10s of just like old photos of literally everywhere. These people must have been super wealthy because they traveled internationally. They went to Central America, they went to Europe, they went to national parks, just everywhere. And so they're really neat photos. And I'll probably be doing like a little what sold from that haul. But yeah, anyway, thank you all for watching. Bye.